Hello, everyone, and welcome to HCTV UK, our second instalment of our weekly insights into the weekend's betting. Insiders, see how we got on last week. Again, we're joined with our resident experts, Ian and Dave. Hi, lads, you okay?
Hi, Chris. Good evening.
All right, Chris. Yep. Hi, mate.
Have you? Is that map next to you there, Dave? Because are they the places you're ticking off because of all the winnings from last week?
Well, I tell you what, I need a bigger map, mate.
That wasn't up last week. This is where you're trying to pick German and foreign goal scorers from, isn't it?
Well, here we've got the goals galore on the east side of Germany.
So I think there's probably no better way to start this week off than about last week's selections, lads. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm surprised you're both not on a yacht or something with them selections that you picked last week. Anybody who watched it last week will know, and if they had a bet, they'll be sunning themselves on. Well, if you could get to a desert island now,
that's why we're not on the yacht, Chris. We're not allowed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's not looking anytime soon either. But so we'll just have to bank all the money that we won last week, and we're going to win this week as well. So anybody who didn't watch last week, this is listen this for a roll call of exactly the selections that you missed. We had United, Everton, both teams to score draw at 4-1. Wigan, Wimbledon, both teams to score 8-11. Doncaster, Oxford, both to score 8-11. Freiburg and Dortmund, both teams to score at 10-11. All winning bets. Ian, horses. We had a Native River at 13-2. Honeysuckle 11-8. Drop the Anchor 12-1 winner, and Echo Brava at a place at 11-2. I think it went at.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Honestly, if you'd have backed them as singles, each person, or one massive accumulator, I mean, look at the prices: 4-1, 12-1 winners. I mean, lads, for the first week of doing this, it's unbelievable.
Wasn't a bad start. We know a few of the lads were on it as well, so it's
always
good to see.
I've been inundated with messages and things, and on Facebook with messages, people's screenshots of the accumulators on the horses, the footballs and things. Everybody had an unbelievable weekend and are looking forward to see what you're going to say this weekend. Also, as well, your £100 bets that you put on. Dave, your £100 fantasy bet, if you like, was United, Everton, both teams to score. City, Liverpool, both teams to score. Absolutely came in, no problem. At 5-2, gets you off the mark. Ian, your nap of the weekend was Honeysuckle at the horses. At 6-4, came in. So
should have doubled it up, shouldn't we, Dave?
Pardon?
We should have doubled that up.
I know. But there's time for this week, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So a huge, well done, lads. Honestly, we anybody who's watching, our views for this week should go absolutely through the roof because of. So there's no pressure at all now. Like, you just gotta. If you get
they could fall off a cliff by next week.
No, positive thinking. If you could both pick another 4 winners, that'd be absolutely fantastic if you would. So all that is pretty good, lads. Them good winnings. But does the name Yuri Andre mean anything to you?
I know where this is going straight away.
I know where it's going as well.
Do you know who he is?
I'm going to say he might be the speed snooker champion 2021.
No, he's really. I know you do want an update on your speed snooker. That's a little bit later. This fella, Yuri Andrade, I think his name is. You think you did all right at the betting this weekend? This fella pocketed a cool £270,000 in English money.
What did he have, a pound accumulated on mine and Dave's tips from last week?
He had a £37,000 bet for them to be a streaker at Sunday night's Super Bowl.
I've seen this.
Yeah. So he put a bet on, told all his mates to all back it. He jumped on. So he planned it with his mate. His mate jumped over the advertising hoarding things, got collared by the stewards, left a wide open trap for him to jump over, run on in his mankini, advertising his porn network or whatever it was. But so the books and everybody who tried to put this bet on, a few have been paid out, but they're now under investigation about it.
Has he technically broken any laws?
Well,
in regards
not
to gambling?
really. No. So a nice £270,000 coming his way.
You're thinking what I'm thinking when the season's back up and running for the Wolves, and we can get back in the stadium.
It's up to you, mate. That if you want to. Although I have been on a bit of a diet.
Yeah, you can be the runner, Ian. I'll back the bet. You can do the running.
I was going to be the decoy for Chris.
But his ex-girlfriend was. Do you remember the streaker who came on between the Liverpool and Spurs Champions League final?
No way. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember her? Yeah, that's his ex-girlfriend, and they did a similar kind of publicity stunt. I mean, I didn't notice at the time. I was just looking for a good personality, and I didn't notice any streakers or anything.
I have no idea. My hands as Liverpool were winning.
So that was him this week. A lucky £270,000 bet. And do you know what he said he was going to buy with his winnings?
Clothes.
If you won 270 grand, what would you buy?
A subscription to HC Promotions TV.
Right answer, Dave. Even follow that. What would you buy?
2 subscriptions.
He said he was going to buy a giraffe.
All right. I mean, the only other person I know that bought a giraffe was Alan in The Hangover.
Yeah.
That met with a gruesome end.
Yeah.
So that was that this week, the Super Bowl. Any of you lads into the Super Bowl? It's not really for me. I've tried a few times, but it's not really for me.
It's too long and too complicated.
Yeah, it is. Totally agree. Now, the main part of the night, lads, here we go. Shootout snooker. I know everybody's been looking forward to this. Shootout snooker came to a head the day after we'd done our broadcast last week. The final, I know you've been itching to find out. It was won by Ryan Day, the ex-snooker world champion Lee Selby. The winner got 50 grand, but that wasn't the highlight. No. History in the making at the snooker there. Shootout snooker. The highest break ever of 142 was performed by.
I tell you
Mark
what,
Allen.
that's impressive under those circumstances.
Yeah, it is. It is. So 142 break. History in the making at the shootout snooker. It must have been because they knew extra people were watching because of my shout out to it.
Oh, mate, viewers must have won. You could get Sky sponsoring us now, or Eurosport, won't it? You get Eurosport.
Maybe.
You'd have to get in line behind the betting companies.
Well, yeah, hopefully, that'd be fingers crossed, wouldn't it? So, a little bit looking forward to this week, lads.
Are we going to talk football, Chris? Going to talk football?
I've been bribed by Dave Clark not to talk football.
That's just an interesting week, wasn't it? Of shock results.
I didn't really watch much this weekend.
Did you not? No. Good FA Cup game last night as well, I thought.
Yeah, it was past my bedtime. That I watched up until full time and then switched it off. No, I didn't. No, it was a great game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as an Evertonian, I think it was I was on edge all last night. I couldn't get to sleep for ages afterwards, knowing it was on too late, and B, the adrenaline was going after that. I genuinely thought Tottenham had turned us over in the end, but made up with that. The draws tonight as well, so yeah, I think when this goes out tomorrow, everyone will know their fate.
Yeah.
I don't think many people would have had 5-4 on the betting, would they?
No, I had 6-5.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah.
You know what, I did think there would be a lot of goals. I mean, I know that's not a difficult prediction to make, but you did sense there would be quite a few goals. Not that many, but you know what I mean.
Well, we do know you like goals galore, mate.
Well, you do, and you'll be seeing a few of these in a minute.
Okay, so looking forward to this weekend. another big weekend of sport, really, right across the board. We've got the cricket again, second test starting Saturday. I think that's starting. England won the last test last weekend by 227 runs. The second test starts Sunday, I think that is. Rugby Union, Six Nations is ongoing. England surprisingly got beat to Scotland last week, 11-6, and England play Italy on Saturday, hoping to make amends for that. So that's the England Grand Slam bet gone. They were 2 or 3 to 1, I think they were, to win the Grand Slam, which basically means them to win all games out of the Six Nations is called the Grand Slam. So that bet has gone, and that they were favourites for that. 2 to 1, I think they were for that. Boxing, you lads into boxing at all?
I know you like it, Chris, don't you, mate?
Yeah, I like the boxing. I'm no massive expert, but I do enjoy it. This weekend on Sky Sports, not Box Office, normal Sky Sports. A good night of boxing, really. That's back after a month's break. The Leeds Warrior, Josh Warrington, he fights this weekend against Mexico's Marsilio Lara.
He's a bit of a scrapper, isn't he, Josh Warrington? Isn't he a proper scrapper?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So he's fighting this fella, hoping for a big world championship shot next year. He's undefeated, Josh Warrington, fighting this fella. 21 wins this Mexican's had, 14 knockouts, and he's won the last 10. Odds-wise, Josh Warrington, red hot favourite at 1 to 20, I think he is, something like that, just to win. And the other fella, Lara, he's 10 to 1 just to win. Josh Warrington has interestingly said, though, he will beat him within 6 rounds. So if you want to take that on, take it with a pinch of salt, or go on what they're saying, you can get from 10 to 1 to 20 to 1 on the round betting from 1 to 6 for Josh Warrington. So there might be a little bit of value there as well. So it's worth having a little look about. And also as well on fight night as well, a lot of bookies give money back boosts. So it's worth having, like I know we said a few weeks ago, last week, have a little look round at the different offers and things. What are you looking forward to this weekend, lads? I know you're into you like your football and stuff. Who've Everton got? They play Sunday, don't they?
Yeah, we're last game on Sunday. We've got Fulham at home.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of obviously we played Tottenham. We've got Fulham. We play Man City, and then the derby's coming up, I think, straight after that as well. So we've got a quick succession of games coming up. Calvert-Lewin took a knock last night. I'm hoping he's all right. He's back scoring goals again, I think. You know, I think it was on here you guys laughed at me when I mentioned top 6.
Top 4, you said, mate.
Did I say top 4? All right, sorry. But, you know, we've still got a couple of games in hand there on the teams above us. We're only 3 points behind Liverpool with 2 games in hand there. So it's funny. It's the type of game that we played Newcastle, didn't we, last week, week before last, and got beat 2-0 at home there, and then go and beat Leeds away 2-1. So Fulham at home, I think Liverpool have been guilty of this as well. You know, it's the type of game where you can almost take your foot off the pedal if you're not too careful and think it's in the bag. So it's quite an important game actually for us, especially playing City during the week. I think, you know, I don't hold much hope the form that City are in. They're head and shoulders above anyone else. So big game for Everton Sunday.
Yeah, they're Fulham as well. You know, they're a good side away. We're away at Leicester in the early kickoff on Saturday.
Now, just going to interrupt you there, Dave. Now, the early kickoff. Last week, you said, "Oh no, it's brave," but this one's nailed on for the early kickoff. And what let down the accumulator? The early kickoff.
I'll be honest with you. I was really gutted with that because I had quite a few follow the bet, and Villa scored within 2 minutes, and I was like, fantastic, because I thought Arsenal will score away. So I thought, well in, lads, I picked the first one there. Arsenal score, so that's 1 down, 4 to go. And you watched it, and you messaged me, and you went, Dave,
didn't we?
how have they not scored? And honestly, I was so wound up because it was my first prediction, you know, of the 5. And then lo and behold, all the others came in, and I wouldn't mind all the other games. They were like 3-2, 2-2, you know, loads of goals. But that's the way it goes. I mean, they always say do not pick the early kickoff, but you know,
you're not picking it this week, are you, Dave?
I'm going to surprise you. Yeah, I'm going.
Well, I know you're dying to ask me, lads, that Wigan Athletic, we actually got beat, which is no great shock last Saturday.
You tipped them to win as well, Chris.
Yeah, I know. I did say my heart was probably really in my head. We did say both to score, and it was 3-2. Yeah. But we won midweek up the ticks. No. They won, so maybe out that relegation zone. We've got a tough game on Saturday at Oxford in a bit of fun. Me and Dave were discussing that just before we started recording this. Real tough game. But I said Wigan could be, they're hit and miss. They've got a few new signings. They could be absolutely woeful. And when they're woeful, they are bad, really bad. Worst team you've seen. But when they're good, they can hammer a team, or they might just pinch a 1-0 that they're good at that. So who knows? But we're getting there. We're on the right direction now. Hopefully get a buyer in that soon, and heading in the right direction. So actually Sunday, it's a good day of sport actually for on the football. Another good 4 games. We like the look of Arsenal Leeds. With me and Dave were discussing.
Yeah, it'd be a great game that.
Say that again.
It'd be a great game, that one.
Yeah. I think there could be goals in that. And Leeds 14-5 just to win away at Arsenal. Tough ask, but I think it's a quite good price up for a good bit of interest.
Sorry, Chris. If I was backing it, I would go score draw.
Would you?
Yeah. But I mean, I probably fancy Leeds to win above Arsenal. I'm surprised at that price because they are in good form.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Isn't Arsenal's keeper suspended as well, Dave? Sure, he got sent off last week, didn't he?
Well, did he?
I'm pretty certain he got sent off in the same game as the game before that. But he'd be on a 3-match ban, won't he? The same game.
Oh,
the same game that
the Wolves game.
Yeah.
Right. Well, if he is, then that's a loss to him. So, yeah. I mean, I'd fancy Leeds above Arsenal, but as I say, if I was betting it, it'd be a score draw.
I fancy Leicester Liverpool draw, and I fancy when you just get a feeling about some bets and you think it. I fancy Everton 2-0 against Fulham.
It sounds like a Everton Fulham type of score, that, but you're not the football expert, Chris, I'm afraid.
I'm not, mate. I'm the shootout snooker expert.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to this weekend, lads. I'll start with you again, Dave, about the football while we're talking football. Run us through your selections, what you fancy, and then we'll move on to you, Ian. So over to you, Dave.
Sound right. All right then. So this week I've got two lots of bets. I've got a 6-fold teams to win, and then I've got my favourite, my goals galore, a 5-fold again. So we'll start off with the 6-fold. This is 6 teams to win, but 3 of my selections are a handicap where I've taken a goal off them, so they're a goal behind before they start. Now you mentioned about.
Sorry to interrupt there, Dave. Sorry to interrupt. Ian, are you spinning on your chair?
I was just getting a notepad ready to write these selections down. This is important, this.
Sorry, Dave. Go on, mate.
Listen, he wants to write these winners down. I don't blame him. He's got to get ready. So anyway, these 6 games that I've picked, all to win the teams, but 3 of them are -1 goal start. Now, we said about the Saturday kickoff, don't do it again. Well, I'm going one better because I'm starting with a Friday night.
Right, okay.
I'm going to Germany. I love it over there. So we're going with Leipzig -1 handicap at home to Augsburg. Leipzig to win. My second game is City against Spurs. Again, City with a -1 handicap. And let me just explain that to you, because you might be thinking, well, Spurs, they're a good side and that. Spurs are not on a great run at the moment. They played Everton. They went to extra time. They played near a full strength. Harry Kane came on. He played extra time. City are in unbelievable form. Spurs will try and defend, usual Mourinho tactics, and I can see City wiping the floor with them.
I was hearing Mourinho a little bit under pressure, is he?
Yeah, I think so.
I like that logic, you know, Dave. Like that, mate.
Yeah. So that's the second one. The third one, so that's the other minus handicap. The third minus handicap is Rangers at home to Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock are getting beat every week. We know how well Rangers are playing. So the odds weren't great for the just Rangers to win. So if we take a goal off them, they should be winning that at least 2-0, maybe 3 or 4. And then the other 3 games to go with them 3 handicap games. We've got Cardiff at home to Coventry. Now, I've picked this one out. Cardiff haven't been great at home, but Mick McCarthy's just come in. They've won the last 2 away. Coventry are on a bad run of form at the minute. So we go in with a Cardiff home win. The other one is Watford against Bristol City. Watford lost the last home game against QPR, but before that, they were 14 unbeaten going back to July against City. And they've won, 11 of them 14 games. Bristol City aren't doing well at the minute. Watford to win that at home. And the final selection, I'm really sorry, Chris. Oxford will beat Wigan on Saturday. Oxford are flying. I know they got beat Oxford last week away at Doncaster, who were also flying. But before that, that was away. Oxford at home, they've won the last 7 at home. We don't know what team Wigan are going to turn up, but I think they're going to be too strong, Oxford, for Wigan. Now, them 6 games, the 6-fold accumulator pays you 26-1.
Wow,
nice.
That's Dave.
That's boosted.
I like that, especially the -1 goal gives you some real good value, doesn't it? With your select, especially the Rangers one, because you're getting no price with Rangers, are you, at all? But -1, it makes it nice.
But also with the City one, because you'd expect City to score against Spurs a few goals. They're flying, and Spurs aren't in good form, and they will be tired, I think. So
I'm going to have to just take your word on the German football, mate.
Yeah, Leipzig are a good side. They're banging in goals, and Augsburg are conceding. So,
is your bedroom like a German Bundesliga shrine?
he sleeps in Borussia Mönchengladbach pajamas.
not forgetting my bed cover and my pillow, you know.
Of all the teams I could have picked, then.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's the win accumulator. Now the goals galore. I'll just fly through this. So my big selection for me goals galore. Again, I'm in Germany for my first one. It's on Saturday, 2:30 kickoff, and it's Bremen against Freiburg. I won't go and bore you the details of the ins and outs, but I've looked at it, and for the last 8 weeks, my selection on a group bet I've always gone to Germany, and I've got it right. This is going to be hopefully the 8th week in a row.
Well,
so,
they didn't let us down last week, did they, Freiburg?
Sorry? No.
Freiburg didn't let us down last week, so fingers crossed they're in a good bit of form for us.
Yeah, that's it. So that's it. The next one is Rotherham and Qpr. Rotherham, even when they get beat, Rotherham, they always seem to score. QPR are in decent form lately. They won away at Watford a couple of weeks back, 2-1. That was the only defeat that Watford have had in them 14 games that I said. So I fancy that to be goals galore. The other 3, they're all in League One. And I'm not joking, right? I've looked at the fixtures in League One over the weekend, and I think at least 8 out of the 12 games will all be goals galore. And I've picked 3 of them. The 3 I've picked. Again,
they'll be the only 3 now that aren't.
3-0-0s.
I tell you what, for a laugh, keep an eye on that on League One at the weekend. I'm saying that 8 of the 12 will be goals galore. And then let's see if these 3 are the ones that aren't. So Wimbledon, Rochdale, Hull and MK Dons, Sunderland and Doncaster.
What was that last one? Sorry.
Sunderland, Doncaster.
So there's five selections altogether, Dave.
So yeah, there's 5 altogether, including a German. If you back that, you're 5-fold on the boost. William Hill, 18-1.
Nice.
I'll be piling into them this week, mate.
Yeah, so will I, mate. So will I. 18-1 on the boost with William Hill. Again, we mentioned that last week, didn't we? It's worth looking at your William Hill for your boosts on your both teams to score. It's always worthwhile. Get an extra couple of quid out of the bookies because they'll take it off you quite easily. So you may as well take it off them as well. So good, mate. That's any tips for a first goal scorer this week, Dave?
Well, we didn't do it last week. Well, do you know last week when we were speaking about the games, I said, "Oh, well, Joe Pigott will score for Wimbledon at your place." He did. I said Clark Harris will score for Peterborough. He did. I've had a look. I'm sorry. I've had a look. I'm lying. I've not had a look at scorers, so I can't give you an answer on the first scorers.
It's okay. Well, we've got plenty to go up there. We've got a 26-1 6-fold there, and a 5-team both teams to score, both with some brilliant odds, really. So if any of them come in, you're absolutely flying, aren't you? Especially with a good start to the weekend with your first game in Leipzig tomorrow night, isn't it? Tomorrow night. Right. So I'll be 100% getting both on with those, Dave. Right. Nice one for that, mate. Great insight.
Just before we go over to Ian on the goal scorers, just for a laugh. Well, I know my first score, and it's Morelos for Rangers.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Oh dear, the amount of times that we've backed that, unbelievable. He seems to score every week, but until you have a bet on him.
That's it. Yeah.
Right, good, brilliant, Dave. Thanks very much for that, mate. So we'll be looking forward to getting them on Saturday and a good football bet. Ian, over to you, mate, for the horses. I believe it's a miss with the weather this weekend. Will it be?
Yeah, I said to you, didn't I, during the week that we've got our fingers crossed that the racing's going to be on this weekend. So I've gone through the cards like it's going to be on. I've looked at the main racing, which is at Newbury this week. It's on ITV. I think what I'm going to try and do on this, because I think people enjoy watching the racing and having a bet. So if I can, I'll try and sort of highlight some of the ITV races when we're going through them. So, you know, sure, anyone who's watching can then go away and watch the race and then hopefully cheer home a couple of winners.
Nice.
That was great last week. You know, our racing was on the telly, so, you know, everyone could see and cheer home some of those bigger prices.
Yeah. Really good.
So we're going to look at Newbury. There's 3 main races at Newbury this weekend, so we'll do them in a chronological order. 225 is the Denman Chase over 3 miles. It's a bit of a Gold Cup trial, actually, for Cheltenham. Some great winners in the past. And there's 3 that stand out at the head of the market. Horse called Clanders Oboe is currently favourite for Paul Nicholls. This horse was a good second of Haydock in the Betfair Chase in November behind Bristol de May. Bristol de May ran a good race behind Native River, our selection, at the weekend just gone. And then Clanders Oboe disappointed a little bit in the King George at Kempton over Christmas. I'm not convinced on this horse, and it's gonna be there or thereabouts because there's only 7 runners in the race, and you know you can almost draw a line through 4 of them. So it's going to give you a run for your money. Would I be backing it at 6-4? It currently is. No, it's not for me. The Tizzards have got a horse called Lost in Translation. I loved this horse last season. I thought it was a belter. It's so hit and miss. So are the Tizzards. Again, the Tizzards trained Native River for us last week. It's 2 races this season that have been too poor, and yet it might bounce back to form. But I just can't have it. It leaves us with a fairly confident selection, actually. A horse called Champ for Nicky Henderson. I mean, Nicky Henderson this season
might be jumped by half-2.
Just set him up for you every time.
No.
Do you know it's named after AP McCoy, this horse, actually?
Is it?
Yeah, runs in the colours of JP McManus. You know, the green and
Yeah.
white stripes and green and yellow stripes. Sorry. So it's been off the race course for almost a year, and Henderson's been wrapping it up in cotton wool and, you know, making excuses not to run it. He almost cares too much about his horses, Nicky Henderson. You know, he's always got an excuse ready, and he's mad as a box of frogs, and he likes a little tipple as well. And he's just looked a little bit madder than normal this year. But he loves this horse, and as I say, he's been waiting for it to run. It's run 4 times at Newbury and won every time. So it's 4 from 4 over the course, which is obviously a good sign. People will look at the fact that it hasn't ran for nearly a year. I looked at the stats before. Coming off a break of 116 days, 185 days and 216 days, it's won every time as well. So going fresh isn't going to be a problem.
Yeah, so the break doesn't hamper it at all, does it?
No, and it's had a bit of a race course gallop. I think out of all of these, I think this is the one with star quality. It's currently 9-4, 5-2. Because of all of those reasons I've highlighted, you know, the fact that it hasn't run, the fact that it's had a year off, as I say, it's going into this race against some half-decent horses. I don't think any of it's going to hamper it. If this gets into a rhythm jumping around, and as we say, it likes Newbury, I wouldn't put you up, and I think I'm going to go straight in with that as the nap of the day.
Right, okay.
So, as I say, it's 5-2 in places, that. And I really like it. Next race, 3 o'clock at Newbury. It's the Betfair 2-mile chase. So this is the return of Altior, absolute standing dish in all of these. It's won this race 3 times. It's been a little bit in the doldrums. It missed Cheltenham. It was Nicky Henderson putting them away again, said he was injured. It returned a few weeks back against a horse called Nubi Negra. That's rated far inferior to it. Finished about 4 lengths behind. Could have needed the run. It hasn't done in the past. It's an 11-year-old now. Now, on ratings, if Altior turns up the horse that we know it is, it should win.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to take that gamble at such a low price, though. There'll be a lot of people napping this for Saturday. It's even money, 11-10. I've looked through the race. Nichols has got one called Grianatine in it. I can't see that really troubling the principles. You know, that you can put a line through it and it'll still finish behind Altior, even if them two. If Altior runs to the same standard as its last race, and Grianatine does. Grianatine finished about 7 or 8 lengths behind a horse called Politolog. And, you know, if that was in this race, I think Altior still finishes in front of it. Going through the rest of the cards, so Royals in this race, it's always there or thereabouts. It always comes second or third. It doesn't really win. So a bit like Dave and his handicap bet, I'm going to recommend in this race a horse called Fanny and Destruval. It's a horse.
I'm not even attempting to write that. I went to write it and just put F.
FD.
FD, done.
So at the moment, it's 7-1 in the betting. What I'd recommend in this is betting without Altior. So betting without the favourite. On that, you probably get 5-1. Say there's a couple of others still ahead of it in the market. In its last race, Fanny and Destrival finished 4th. It was upside a horse called Waiting Patiently. If Waiting Patiently was in this, it'd probably be second favourite behind Altior. It was held up off the pace. I think they'll be a bit more confident now in pushing it forward a little bit. And it's only a 6-year-old. You know, Altior's an 11-year-old. Grianatine's a 7. Where are we? So Royals a 9-year-old. This has got improvement in it. And I think even at 7-1, you know, for me, I'm probably going to throw it in a bet with all of these horses that we mentioned today to win. But if you're going for a single, you know, betting without the favourite, because if Altior turns up, it's a cracking horse.
Yeah.
So betting without that, or maybe in a forecast with Altior. but I like it in its own right. So Fanny and D'Estruval there is a good bet against a field that's pretty strong. The last race that we're going to look at, 3:35 at Newbury. we're at it again. It's a 26-runner handicap.
Good luck.
Well, we got a 12-1 winner in the 24-horse handicap last week.
To be fair, you're right, yeah.
Again, advice on this is, first of all, shop around for value. Look at what bookies are paying 5 or 6 places.
Yeah.
I think most of them will pay 5. Some of them will pay 6 on this. So that's worth having a look. I'm going to take 2 horses against the field. In a race like this, obviously, anything can happen. You need a bit of luck. Traditionally, I don't like horses carrying a huge weight in these races, particularly on soft ground. So we'll always look for something a little bit better handicapped. The favourite's a horse called Metier. It's ran 3 times over hurdles. It's won 3 times. It's been a big talking horse. It's been touted for the Supreme. For me, it won't win the Supreme. It's flatbred. It keeps coming up against the same horses so far when it's run. It's carrying a huge weight on Saturday. That we're going to look over that.
Sorry.
Go on, what have I set up for you, man?
It's flatbread. I was going to say, as opposed to a naan.
Do you know what, mate? Right. Know what I've written down here? It's actually French flatbread, but I thought I couldn't give him that. He'll just throw in the garlic baguette and everything.
Oh, dear. So entertain myself.
We're going to take 2 against the field. First one is a horse called Soaring Glory, which is a great name for a horse anyway. It's about 8-1 as we currently speak. It's running for John Joe O'Neill. And the stable jockey is his son, John Joe O'Neill. Now, he's picked this horse over Sky Pirate, which is another fancied one from the stable, which, again, is a tip in itself as to which one they think is going to run best out of that. So Sky Pirate's going to be well fancied. Soaring Glory. Soaring Glory. I'll tell you what, I'm going to stop doing this if you don't stop taking the mic.
Did you not hear that, Chris?
No, I was writing down. Go on.
He said Sky Pirate. I said, "Oh,
Just because you missed it, Chris. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm gutted, actually. That was teed up for me, that one.
I'm gonna start making names of horses up just to see what you guys come back with. Do you know what? To cut a long story short on this one, I think the big fields will suit it down to the ground. It's a horse that travels supremely well through its races. 2 or 3 hurdles out, you'll be looking at this horse thinking it's absolutely going to tank home. What we've got to keep our fingers crossed, it's that it's got a little bit left in the engine over the final flight. But as I say, there won't be many travelling better than this with about 2 hurdles to jump. The other one, which I'm going to... So that was about 8-1. The other one I'm going to throw up is a horse called Guard Your Dreams. It's 20-1, this one. Running for the Twiston Davis stable. Soft ground suits it. In fact, softer the better, I'd say, for this one. It's carrying a decent weight. The trainer and jockey actually love this race. I reckon this has been targeted for this race for quite a while. So if you're getting 5-6 places, a 20-1 shot is something that maybe is worth a dabble on. So at 8-1, Soaring Glory, really fancy that one. And there's an outside bet, Guard Your Dreams, 20-1.
Nice one, mate. Appreciate that. That's another good insight. Fingers crossed that the racing's on Saturday.
Yeah.
Football as well. I know Walsall was off last week, wasn't it? It was part of one of yours, Dave. So fingers crossed. We can only hope. I mean, we're recording this on Thursday evening. We can only, fingers crossed, and hope for the best, can't we? It's in the hands of the gods with that one. Yeah. But really, really good insights from both of you as well. Hopefully, if it carries on from last week, lads, I mean, there's some great prices in there, some great selections. The thing that we did, so last week, your selections for the £100 bets, you both won, which was good. Who's your £100 bets on this week for your fantasy bet? Start with you, Dave.
I've been a bit lazy, but I do fancy it. The 3 handicap games, the Leipzig, the City, and the Rangers, all to win -1. If you do the treble, it's just over 4-1.
It's good that I like that. I really like that bet. I'll definitely be able to do with that, especially the treble. I'll probably have to do with them both bets as the things, but I really like that 4-1 treble. I think it's good. That keeps nice bit of interest as well. Keeps you going, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good. And Ian, I'd imagine yours is the nap in the second race.
Yeah, 225 champ.
Yeah, 225 champ. Yeah,
5-2. I tell you what, I am going to do as well. I'm going to double both naps up this week as well. I'm going to double Dave and mine charity bets up this week as well, because what an oversight that was not doing them last week.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think I'm the same. I don't think anybody would have done that, really. But imagine if we were sat here and you'd have done that, that'd have been unbelievable. So, lads, once again, thanks very much for your time. I know we always say it, but please do gamble responsibly. It is only a little bit of fun. We'll try and have a laugh of it. Some we win, some we lose. Last week was lucky, nice insight. We got some great winners. It might not happen this week. Please only ever bet what you can afford. Lads, it's been an absolute pleasure again. A little bit shorter than last week as well. Because we didn't discuss the team performance at Liverpool. We could have gone on forever. And we didn't discuss VAR again and making sure we're not even touching that. Lads, thanks very much for your time. Brilliant work as usual. Thanks for your insights. Fingers crossed for this weekend, and we'll see you next weekend. Anyone who's watching this, please don't forget to subscribe to HCTV UK. We've got some more of this happening this week with some more guests coming up as well. We shall see you soon. Thanks very much, fellas. See you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.